Welcome to episode 20 of the Artist to Artist podcast. My name is Angie. I'm your host. I'm a full-time freelance makeup artist, and I'm also a makeup artistry educator. Today's episode, we are talking about elevating your bridal services. And what this means is just taking your bridal makeup artistry to a higher level by refining every aspect of your business and also the services that you're delivering to your bridal clients. I think that no matter where you are in your career, there's always going to be room for improvement. And this goes for anybody who's working as a makeup artist in any part of our industry. But specifically with bridal, there's always ways to enhance the experience that your clients have when they book you for their wedding. In this episode, I'm going to cover some key strategies to help you elevate your bridal services, like presenting yourself as a true professional, creating a memorable experience for your clients, maintaining a strong online presence. Yes, that means social media. And continuously developing your skills. I will also talk to you about how to leverage client feedback, which is something I don't think a lot of makeup artists do, how to build a good portfolio, and I'll share some actionable steps that will help set you apart from other bridal makeup artists in your market. Basically, what I'm sharing with you in this episode are things that took me years to learn. And if you're a newer artist that's listening, this stuff you would really only learn about if you were assisting or if you knew somebody that was a more senior artist in bridal. The first thing I wanted to talk about in this episode, I really want to encourage you to have a holistic approach to your bridal makeup artistry. And this just means considering the importance of all of the elements of your bridal application. So the contents of your kit, your client experience, your social media presence, your level of professionalism. These are all of the things that go into creating a really cohesive and elevated bridal service. So if you eventually one day want to be charging top dollar for your bridal services, all of these things have to be top tier. If you're listening and you want to bump your rates a significant amount, all of this stuff has to be in place. When it comes to your kit contents, part of the experience for your clients is being able to sit in your chair, check out all of your kit, seeing everything set up. That's part of the experience and one of the most enjoyable parts of the day for a lot of people. You'll have clients that have never had their makeup done before. You'll have clients that haven't had their makeup done in 20 years. So having you come to the place where they're getting ready, bring an entire kit, set it up beautifully, that's all part of the day because it makes them feel like they have access to something that maybe only celebrities have access to. So I think you have to think about the whole client experience and not just the end result of the bridal makeup application. When you show up, your kit has to be clean. It has to be organized. You're going to want to have some of those viral products out. I have talked about depotting briefly on social media, but try not to depot every single item in your kit because clients want to see some of those recognizable brands. My clients know that when they see that gold packaging, it's a Charlotte Tilbury product or a Dior product. They can see the labeling. So this is part of the experience for your clients. They feel like a movie star when they have someone coming to their place, setting up a professional kit that's clean, labeled. There's more luxury items in there. And if you're listening to this and you do want to offer luxury bridal services, you got to have those luxury products in there. It just adds to the whole experience that your clients are going to have with you. Think about the experience that your client has with you from the minute they reach out to book you all the way until their wedding is over. You're going to be working on all parts of the business to elevate your business so that you're able to charge top dollar and provide your clients with a really great service. And part of that is also making sure that you're able to do the looks that clients are looking for when it comes to bridal, trending looks for bridal. And that can often mean each season kind of upgrading your training and putting some extra work into practicing those either viral looks or looks that are trending currently in your market. That's another part of this holistic approach to bridal. A great example of this from my own clients, of course, I already specialize in more natural makeup looks. So a lot of the brides that find me online or are referred to me, they're coming to me because they know they're going to get a really beautiful bridal makeup application that is on the more natural side. But these clients are also showing me Hailey Bieber makeup looks and a lot of these fresh, glowy kind of looks. So it's important for me to make sure that I'm consistently showing those on my social, showing that look on different skin tones. And it's important for me to have the products that a lot of people are using to create this look that are more viral. So for instance, the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, those are all things that I will put out on my station when I set up. the packaging is beautiful, people know the products, but really just adds to the whole experience that my clients are booking me for. One thing I think people do not think enough about, just from what I've seen working bridal, and I've been working bridal for a really long time, is the effort and thought they put into really making sure they're working on appearing as a professional. So your professional appearance and your conduct when you're working with a client. I see a lot of really questionable things when I'm working, especially when I'm working with artists that I don't know or that I've never met. Your appearance, what you wear, your kit presentation, how you show up to a job, it really impacts the client's perception of you. And this carries over to every element of the industry. How you show up to a job, how you carry yourself on a job paints a picture of who you are, and clients will judge your skill level based on how you show up. We've talked about this before. I think I've mentioned it in some other episodes. We've definitely talked about it on social media. If you want to be treated like a pro, then you have to show up as a pro. Part of that means when you show up to a wedding, remember it is a special event. This doesn't mean you need to dress to the nines, but you are going to be in people's wedding albums. That's one thing I think some people forget. So showing up in a sports bra and tights is probably not the best idea if you want to be seen as a professional and if you want to charge top dollar. For me, when I show up to a wedding, I'm normally dressed in all black. I wear like loose, flowy black dress pants. I think it's the Effortless pants from Aritzia. I just buy a couple pairs of those and I wear them to every wedding. I'll wear a simple black t-shirt or a nice button up or something like that, just so I am blending in. I'm not standing out. I'm not giving off this energy of like, everybody look at me. I'm not wearing anything crazy. And when the photographer takes photos of getting ready, I'm really just kind of blending in with the whole photo because it's not about me. And when you make it about you, this can rub clients the wrong way. So remember, you're showing up to a very special event in someone's life that they've paid a lot of money to make happen. It's not about you. You're there providing a service, and you are going to be in their wedding albums. I do think when you show up to a bridal client, you do have to have a presence. You do have to, of course, appear as a professional. You have to come in with confidence because people can tell when you're not confident, and it makes them have a harder time trusting you. You do have to have some presence at these things, but it's just important that you don't turn into an energy vampire at these events. And I see a lot of artists, both hair artists, makeup artists that have really big personalities. People are walking into a room to spend time with their family, to celebrate with their family at a wedding. I don't think the makeup artist or the hairstylist should be the star of the getting ready process. The stars are the people that are sitting in your chair. We're just there to do a job. We do our job well. We keep things on time, and then we're in and out. We should leave a good impression. We should be presenting as confident, as prepared, as calm, because it can be very hectic. But more than that, you shouldn't go in there and draw attention away from the event. While we're talking about this, I should also mention it's important that you listen to what's going on in the room and you pay attention to what's happening around you. Some artists, this takes them a while to figure out. And I know a lot of people are very uncomfortable with silence, but just get comfortable with it because there'll be certain events where you go and some weddings will not be as lively as others. There might be some emotional moments happening, and those are the times to just be quiet and do your work. Sometimes weddings are more emotional for people, especially if they've lost someone that's close to them. It's sometimes that getting ready process is not this big party and it's a little more chilled out, and there can be some kind of sadness in the room. So you have to respect that. And again, the focus should not be on you. It's about providing the service and making sure everybody's feeling good that's in your chair. And for some people, that might just mean they put on some music, they kind of scroll their phone while you're doing their makeup. They don't really want to talk. And that's what some people like. So being a professional is really being able to read the room. Yes, we're kind of there to put on a show in terms of we're setting out our kit. We've got our lights, the chair, we've got our fancy products out. We're really giving them that celebrity experience. But for some clients, it's just going to be more about relaxing before they start their wedding as well. So these are things that you need to be aware of. And when you are aware of these things and you can read the room, that's the sign of a professional. You're showing up, you're reading the room, you're respecting whatever the vibe is that your clients want. And also, while they're sitting there and they're in this kind of, I'll just say it's more of like a celebrity experience where you have all your kit items out and they're getting their makeup done and their hair done. Part of the presentation is also the presentation of your kit. It's about you, but it's also the kit that they're going to be staring at for the next however many hours. Maintaining a very high standard in terms of the quality of the products that goes into your kit, how organized they are, how clean the kit is. I know things get busy, but it's really important that you remember your clients are paying you top dollar for a service. If you have 6 weddings in a row, that's really not their problem. If your kit looks terrible when you show up, people love talking about how busy they are and they haven't had time to do this and that. Put yourself in your client's position. If you're paying someone, I don't know, $300 a face to do their makeup, or you're paying top dollar for a certain experience, they're not going to want to hear that you were too busy to prepare your kit properly for them. And if you show up and you're charging top dollar and your kit is all over the place and it looks gross, likely your client's not going to be feeling too good about the services that you're offering. While we're talking about this, that's very important to remember that you should always keep top of mind. You will likely find a lot of your bridal work, it's going to come from referrals. Social media is an important piece, but referrals are key. This is where I get most of my work. When you show up to a wedding, you are getting access to a lot of potential clients who can see you in action or see your work on somebody that they're friends with or that they trust. So your work could come from someone in the bridal party, another vendor that you maybe met at a wedding. It could come from a wedding guest. So your work is on display. This is really why I'm enforcing this more holistic approach to your business. Yes, we have to turn out really beautiful makeup applications. Yes, we have to post them and show off work that's trending. But the whole experience someone has will directly impact how quickly they are to refer you. If you show up to a wedding, you look professional, your kit is clean, it's organized, you've got some really great products, you set up and you look like a celebrity makeup artist, people are going to have a great feeling once they leave your chair. They're likely going to be happier with your work because you're kind of pulling out all the stops for them. And when you show up in this way, you look like a professional, you're going to be treated like a professional, and then people understand why they're paying the rates that they're paying you. If you show up and you're dressed sloppy, you have cat hair all over your shirt and you're wearing a sports bra and tights and you're charging top dollar for a makeup application for a bride, this is not going to check out to your clients and it's going to put a bad taste in their mouth. And this is definitely what you do not want if you're going to be getting into bridal, or if you're looking at kind of elevating your bridal services or raising your rates. Everything has to be in place so that your rate makes sense to the people that are sitting in your chair. And these are likely going to be people who will be referring you to future clients. We've talked about viewing your bridal services as a whole and not just focusing on that end result, that final makeup look. I've talked about the importance of professionalism, and that's something you're going to be really thinking about on the day of, but also when you do the trials with your bridal client. Next thing we have to talk about is some of the things that lead up to the wedding day, so the pre-wedding day stuff. And we'll start with social media because I've alluded to it a couple times in this episode. It is important that you develop a significant online presence, especially for bridal, because if you look around in your market, there's going to be a lot of people who are doing a really great job of this. And I had talked about this in previous episodes. When you decide to do this job, you're not getting a pass on things because you're new. You're kind of stepping into the ring and you're going to be compared to people who have been doing this for a really long time. If you want to end up building a really good client base for bridal and you want to be profitable in bridal, it's important that you use social media to showcase your work and to connect with clients. So with bridal, if it's something that you really feel like you want to push on, if you're somebody that is maybe thinking of going 100% bridal, there has to be booking options on your social media. Even if people are referred to you by people they know, the first thing that person is going to do is ask for your social and look to your social to see if you're someone that they want to work with. What this means is taking opportunities to take pictures of your clients with your makeup on. I definitely know that some of you are thinking right now, you have a hard time getting photos from wedding photographers. You maybe don't have time to take pictures of your clients on the job, which I understand. There's also clients may not want to have their photo taken, and I run into that a lot because my bridal clients, some of them love it, and a lot of them are very intimidated by the number of followers that I have on my Instagram account, which in the grand scheme of things is hardly anything. But to an average person, I have about 25K followers on my Instagram right now. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way, but to an average person, that seems like a lot. So it makes them feel a little bit nervous about me posting their face on social media. There's going to be these things that you're going to run into. I will say though, try to get content when you can. Sometimes it's just not going to work. And I would actually encourage you to make sure you're getting your own photos of your work. I know a lot of people wait for the wedding photographer to send the photos through, which you may never see. But also remember, wedding photographers are not beauty photographers, and your clients want to see your makeup applications on real people to show that you can actually do the job. Try to get photos when you can, even if it's one person out of a bridal party of 6. Getting one person in makeup with beautiful lighting is a win. The other thing you have to make sure that you're doing, because of the fact that you may not get great pictures, of course, certain clients, they're going to choose makeup looks that maybe you're not completely into. Yes, you're going to do a good job executing them, but they may not be like that perfect bridal makeup look that you would love to do for every single client. This is why, if you're going to be working as a bridal makeup artist, you have to organize styled bridal shoots. And that is what is going to help you build a strong, professional looking portfolio. And styled bridal shoots, what I mean by that is a TFP or creative that is just for bridal. You're going to connect with other wedding photographers, other vendors, wedding planners, and you're going to plan a shoot that you're all going to use for promotion. It's very important that you do this. If you don't, that's fine. And it can take a while for you to get this going, but it's something that you really have to put on your to-do list. And you'll want to do a couple of these a year because these are the photos that you're going to likely use for your website, for your social media. These just give you more control over certain elements. So if you are somebody that's listening that wants to do all Hailey Bieber inspired natural makeup looks, when you do these TFPs and creatives, you're fully in control of the makeup look that you're doing. You're likely going to be in control of the model that you're choosing for the shoots. This is your time to shine. And these are the photos that are really going to make you legitimate to your clients, but also to other people in the industry. So they're great networking opportunities. And because they're professional photos, it's something that just adds to your credibility as an artist to the average person that's looking at your social media. These are the things that you have to think about working on, capturing that type of content and making sure your social media is populated with your bridal makeup looks on regular people, but also bridal makeup looks that you want to do more of in the future. You're essentially collecting content to show, yes, you've worked with actual people. Yes, you've also worked with professionals. Yes, you can do this job. Yes, you can make an average person look beautiful. And then you also want to have those more aspirational images where you have really pretty models with perfect makeup, because this is essentially what a lot of clients want to see in your book. They want to know that you're a professional artist working with professional people, right? And that includes models, photographers. It's just this whole approach to your bridal makeup business. You really have to think about, how is your client seeing you as a makeup artist? If you were somebody that was given the name of a makeup artist for your wedding and you went to their social media, think about how you would judge that person's social. That's what people are doing to your social. So if there are very few images, or maybe the images are not diverse enough, or the images are not in focus and you don't have any professional photos, this doesn't really instill confidence in people booking you for what they feel is the biggest day of their lives. So this is why you have to work on this stuff. We've got the social media talk now out of the way. It's something that we just have to do. I get messages from people all the time saying, Angie, I don't have time. You're always going to be able to find an excuse as to why you don't have time to do social, but you have to start figuring it out and figure out those styled shoots, because it really just elevates things. And I think you will find when you look at your social and you've got a nice mix of real people, more styled shoots, it just makes you look really good to your potential clients. So really take the time to do that. And the other thing that I think helps to really convey that you are a professional, and it's something that if you can really take the time to focus in on this and make your clients' experience booking you as seamless as possible, it's really going to impact how they view you and how they treat you on the day of. Having a booking process that is professional, that where you can respond quickly to your clients, is a really important part of the whole process for them, because this is going to be where you first start to cement your reputation as a professional, right? So when you're sending emails right away, and sometimes even in bridal, it's the person that responds first that your client will engage with first. If you respond right away, your clients are usually going to be pretty impressed by this, and it looks like you want to work with them when you do this. So that's something else that clients tend to like. Your opportunity to present yourself as a professional, it starts with likely that referral, or maybe if they find you online, but then their next point of contact with you is going to be an email or some sort of DM exchange where they express interest in booking you for their wedding day. If you can get them into a booking process that is professional, that will start to cement you as a person that they can trust, as someone that's been doing this for a long time, as someone that they feel is going to deliver what they want. This is another piece of the puzzle. Thinking about the booking process, again, putting yourself in the client's position when you go out to book something, and you've probably had this experience where you go to book something and it's such a pain in the ass that you do not want to either go to that restaurant or go to that hair salon ever again. This does happen with bridal makeup artists as well. Think about what you would want to see if you were somebody that's getting married and booking a makeup artist for your wedding. If the makeup artist is not getting back to you for 2, 3, 4 days, that just means, you know what? Clients are not prioritized. People want fast responses. What you say and how you say it really matters, because in the beginning stages, your potential clients are taking all of this information and they're forming an opinion about you. And there are a lot of clients that just want to feel like they're booking a professional and that they're booking someone they can trust, because it's a very big day and these clients are putting a lot on the line. If you're a new makeup artist to the bridal industry, when I say booking process, I can understand how this would feel a little bit overwhelming. But really what I mean is when someone emails you, you email them back as soon as possible. There are no spelling errors, no text talk, and please chill it with the emojis, because some people do not want to see that if they're going to be paying you like $3,000 or $4,000 for a wedding. Minimize the emojis, I think. Just make sure that if a client asks you a question, you answer it. That when you are talking about your rates, that you are not being casual about it, that you are laying out all of the information that they would need to see in order to make a decision about booking you. That's what I mean when I talk about booking process at the beginning. Just making sure that it's easy for your clients to get a hold of you, that you're communicating clearly, that you've got a signature in your email, and go a little above and beyond, and just make sure that you're giving them all the information they need so they're not left with any questions. If you're someone that has been doing bridal for a little bit and you want to kind of take it to the next level, or you feel like you're drowning in emails and you're forgetting things, then you may want to consider a CRM. The CRM that I use for my business is called Honeybook, and I'll include a link to that in the show notes. I don't want to get into this too much right now, but a CRM can be very beneficial in helping you with all of the day-to-day stuff that goes into running a bridal business, making sure emails are sent, making sure everything looks professional. A CRM can be very helpful with that. Your to-do list, logging your trials, just things that you need to be doing in your bridal business, that can help. But the main point I'm trying to drive home is always engage with potential clients as a professional, no matter what capacity you're engaging in. Even if they send you a text, a DM, whatever it is, respond professionally, because a potential client is going to get a feeling about you based on how you respond. And each of these times that they're connecting with you, they're going to develop an opinion about who you are and what you have to offer. And if you want to be at a point where you are charging top dollar, you have to back all that up with how you present. You need to show up as a professional, or people are going to be like, why are you charging so much when, you're showing up to my wedding with a dirty kit and you can't get back to me and it took you a week to email me. This is what I mean. We can definitely have the talk about a CRM on another episode for sure. And if you're interested in hearing about this, let me know and I can maybe do a podcast on it for you. I think by this point in the episode, you should have a better idea of what you really need to think about when it comes to building your wedding business. And if you're thinking about elevating your services, I'm sure there's alarms going off in your head right now being like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yes, I have to improve on this. Or there's probably some instinctual things that you've been thinking about wanting to work on but haven't done it. Hopefully this will be helpful for you. The last thing I want to cover off is the actual wedding day and the experience that you're creating for your clients. That is just as important as the makeup application, and considering probably most of your clients are going to come from referrals. And by referrals, I mean people that have seen you work or your work in person. How you show up to a job is going to be really important. So please do not show up to weddings Hot Mess Express where you bulldoze into a hotel room, someone's home. You got your iced latte, which is like half melted, spilling everywhere. You look a mess. You're slinging bags through the front door. You're puffing and puffing because you were running late. That's not the energy that you want to bring to anyone, to any job, never mind bridal. You want to make sure you're early. You want to make sure you're showing up as a calm professional. You don't want to go in as an energy vampire. You are not the star of the day. You're there to do a job. You're there to make sure everybody's having a great time and they have what they need. But you don't want to go in with an energy that is chaotic. Also, just as a side note, please give yourself 15 to 20 minutes if you need it to set up, and make sure your clients know this is part of the schedule so you're not rushed. and you're not just running in there, setting up and going right into your first application. Always make sure it's in the schedule, your setup time and your teardown time, so your clients kind of know what to expect. I don't like going into bridal bookings where there is no time set aside to set up and to tear down, because when you go into a bridal booking, as you're setting up, if it's not in the schedule, people will kind of start to, I guess, cluster around you, and they may start asking you questions. There's going to be people who are really excited to get their makeup done, and they just don't give you that time that you need to settle in, so that when someone sits in your chair, you're chilled out and you're not chaotic or huffing and puffing or feeling like you're already running late, because clients can definitely feel that energy, and that's not how you want to start a bridal booking. When you're creating your schedules for your clients, make sure you have setup time and tear down time, and that's in the schedule. The wedding day is a really great time to learn from your clients, and this is the time where if I can tell that my client is into it, I'll ask them about some of their favorite makeup products, and I'll always tell them, I'm not judging you, I'm just very nosy, and I'm always looking to try new things. This allows me to learn a little bit more about the looks that are inspiring them, the products that they want to see, because likely if someone talks to you about it, there's going to be another client that probably wants to see a similar product or would enjoy seeing a certain product in your kit. This will help you better understand your client and what they're looking for from you and what they would enjoy seeing on your station. And some clients will say, I really want to try this product because I see it all the time on TikTok, but I've been afraid to buy it. So have you tried it? And it's a great dialogue to have with your clients, but also you're getting some intel as to what you could maybe add to your kit to really impress future clients. While we're on this topic of getting information from your clients, if you're not doing this already, I would say a couple weeks after the wedding, not too far after the wedding, send a survey to your clients to ask them about their experience with you. This is going to give you a lot of information about you, your services. It will show you your strengths, your weaknesses, and it will give you a better understanding of the experience your clients have had with you. So try to do this. I know sending a survey is a little bit intimidating. If someone doesn't answer it, don't worry. If they do, that information is going to be very valuable because it will tell you exactly what you need to do to provide the highest level of service for your clients. And that's how you are going to eventually, over time, really level up your bridal services. Don't shy away from that. You don't have to use anything fancy. You can just use like a Google Forms to send this, but make a note to do this. I think you will find the feedback very helpful. Last thing I wanted to do in this episode is leave you with kind of a to-do list of some items that you can work on to level up your business. So we'll start with professional presentation, we'll call it. Just ensure every detail from the appearance of your kit, what you're wearing to jobs, how you're communicating reflects a high level of professionalism. So take some time to go through all of that. The next thing you should be doing is thinking about things in your makeup application that may be tripping you up. Maybe it's working with a specific skin tone. Maybe it's a specific type of winged liner that you're not strong at. If you find there's something that clients are asking for that you're not confident in, this is where you want to take some time to really refine your skills and stay on top of certain bridal trends that are happening in your market. Either you practice as much as possible, you do a masterclass, an online course, you pay another artist in your market to teach you something. Anytime you sense there's something that you're not strong at, this is where you should be seeking some additional training and education. You'll want to do this as often as possible. The next thing I'm sure people are not going to want to hear, make sure you have a consistent online presence. You have to post regularly on social media. Do you have to post 3 or 4 times a day? No. Should you be posting once or twice a week? Probably. You want to make sure that what you're showcasing of your work on your social media is going to be compelling to potential clients. If this is an area of your business where you are lacking, take some time to really focus on that. Think about putting together those styled bridal shoots. Try to take time to take pictures of your work when you are on the job and make sure your clients are okay with you taking photos and let them know you're going to be sharing them on social media, but try to get some images of your makeup on real bridal clients and put those on your social media. You will want to implement that client feedback loop. So remember to talk to your clients about the products that they're loving. If there's certain inspiration images that you're always seeing, pay attention to that. And don't be afraid of sending a survey a couple weeks after you're done working with your bridal clients to get some feedback about your client's experience with you. And this last one is pretty easy to do. And I'm sure a lot of you just do this naturally already because we're always on social media. Take some time to really research who the most established artists are in your market and check out what their application style is. And then you can look at that more broadly and see in the world who are the best artists working in the style that you want to work in or a bridal style that really appeals to your clients, and pay attention to what they're doing, the products they're using, the techniques that they're showing on their social media. Really take some time to stay on top of that, especially the bridal artists that are doing this all the time. There's a lot to learn from these people, and it will improve what you're doing in your bridal work as well. I'm someone that doesn't do bridal all the time. It's very seasonal for me, and I don't advertise a lot of bridal, but I'm always looking at some of the top bridal artists that are in Toronto. I'm looking worldwide. There's certain artists where I look at their style of makeup application and I'm like, this would be perfect for my bridal clients. So I'm always looking to see what products they're using, if there's any brushes or specific techniques that they're using. So just stay on top of that. This is part of that kind of ongoing training and inspiration that we need to find to make sure we're basically doing the best we can for our clients. And that's everything I wanted to talk about in this episode. I'm hoping that some of these strategies will help you elevate your bridal makeup services. I'm going to include some resources for you in the show notes. If you have any questions about anything that I've covered in this episode, you know where to find me, but the best place to ask questions is in the YouTube comments section. So I'll make sure that link is included in the show notes as well. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. And if you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to tell a friend. That's it for now. I will talk to you next week.